Hello, and in this video we'll be looking at multi-threaded programming in Python. First of all, what are threads? So a thread is just a subset of a process where each one is a small sequence of programmed instructions that can be managed by a scheduler. So running a single program may have one or more threads. Let's use the threading module in Python to create a thread. Let's import threading. Now we need a function that we want the thread to execute. So here I've got a simple function that prints the time, and we also pass it a delay to vary the execution time of each thread. This uses the time module, so let's import time as well. Now to create a thread, let's define a subclass of the thread class from the threading module. So let's call our class myThread, and we want to make use of the thread class. Let's override the initializer and add some additional arguments. So let's pass in the thread ID, the name, and a delay. And since we're overriding the initializer, let's do threading.thread and call the initializer of that class. And we want to set the thread ID, the name, and the delay. And we also want to override the run method to implement what the thread should be doing. So first let's print starting and the name of the thread. Then we want to call the function, so let's call print time, and again pass in name of the thread and the delay, and let's end it with print exiting and the name of the thread. Now that we have the subclass, we can create multiple thread instances. So let's do thread1, let's use myThread, pass in the ID, the name, and time delay. Let's do the same with thread 2. This time giving it ID of 2, the name thread 2, and time delay of 3. So making it run that process a little faster. Now to start each thread, we can call the start method. So let's do thread1.start and then thread2.start. Now if we run that, we got a syntax error, so I'm missing the brackets here. Okay, let's give that a run. So we started the threads, and now we'll start processing each thread. So if we look at the output, thread 1 was started first and then thread 2, but because thread 2 has a smaller delay time, it was the first one to get executed and the first one to finish as well. So that's how you can create threads in Python. Now the C Python implementation of Python has the construct called global interpreter lock, also known as the GIL. Now the GIL makes sure that only one thread is executed at any given time. So if we have two threads, T1 and T2, T1 will acquire the GIL, do some work, and then once it's done that, the GIL is then passed on to the next thread to do its bit of work as well. So the two threads are never actually running together, but this happens really quickly. So it seems like the threads are running in parallel, but they're just taking turns to use the CPU core. Now because of this, because of all the GIL passing, it adds overhead to the execution. So using the thread package to make your Python code faster can be a bad idea, unless you're using another Python implementation which does not have the GIL, such as Jython, which is a Java implementation of Python, or PyPy. So that's a quick overview of achieving multi-threading in Python. If you thought this was helpful, please hit the thumbs up below, and I'll see you next time.